What is going on, fellow Wastelanders? Welcome back to the channel where we dive into all the latest CROSSOUT news and gaming updates. Today we've got an exciting sneak peek at the upcoming Founders themed Battle Pass, showcasing new weapons and items you won't want to miss. Plus, Uranium battles have returned, but a new power score requirement is causing confusion and frustration in the community. What's the devs' logic behind these changes? We'll break it down. And over the weekend, I got my hands on an early access vehicular combat game that feels like a mix of Twisted Metal, Vigilante 8, and CROSSOUT. I'll give you my first impressions and let you know if it's worth checking out. If you enjoy CROSSOUT and all things gaming, don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Drop a comment with your thoughts on today's topics and join our growing Discord community to share your builds, find teammates, and connect with other gamers and streamers. Alright guys, to kick things off, we have the Founders faction returning in the next season. So they gave us a sneak peek at two of the items you can find in the March update. The first one is going to be an epic support module that you've seen in the intro there. It is for improving accuracy. So this thing is pretty awesome, but I will say at times it does seem like they create problems and then sell us a solution, and we'll talk about why I think this is kind of the case. In exchange for one energy unit, this module will provide several bonuses aimed at improving accuracy. For example, it will reduce the minimum and maximum spread, and its perk will increase the projectile speed while driving slowly. A very useful gadget. So things that they have nerfed in recent times is hit scan weapons, machine guns, anything with hit scan basically, except for lasers, has projectile speed now. And what does this module do? Well, it increases your projectile speed. So if you've been struggling with the hit scan nerf on machine guns and things like that, well, this module is for you. Now also coming up is a nerf to the speed of heavy cabins. Well, what does this do? It increases the projectile speed of your weapons while driving slowly. So pretty awesome. Now we are in the age of cannons. I say it's a great time to be alive if you like cannons. The Colossus engine has been buffed to increase projectile speed. We have this module coming out to increase projectile speed. So a great time to be alive if you're cannon. I'm actually very excited to try this with my imps and my typhoons. Let me know what you're going to be using this module for when it comes out. Now also, they released news about a legendary ballista coming out that shoots a metal spike out of the front. It looks like something of a toadfish, but a much lower profile. So I wasn't really too excited about this at first because, you know, another crossbow in the wasteland. I've never really been a super fan of crossbows personally, but this thing has such a nice low profile and comes from the Founders faction. So of course it's going to have some interesting modifiers to it, but yeah, interesting indeed. And this ballista is going to shoot a metal spike out of it that will stick to the ground like a Ripper disc, which is kind of interesting. Is it going to do damage like a Ripper, or is the Tormentor module going to affect the spike that sticks into the ground like a Ripper? Quite interesting. Now they do mention that it does deal increased damage to structural parts, so things with resistance modifiers, anything that isn't your cabin, your weapons, your movement parts, it will take increased damage. So kind of interesting to see what that's going to be like. And additionally, a hit from the ballista has high impulse, which is helpful against melee enemies. Now I can't wait for this to be exploited in the impulsiveness game mode when that comes around. How much impulse and how many can you fit on? Not really sure. I imagine you're going to be able to fit 3 of these on a build. So let me know how much energy you think one of these bad boys is going to cost. As with every battle pass, there are new structural parts coming out. The Founders always features high resistance modifiers to their parts. So we're getting a new bumper, it looks like. Perhaps this is a shoot through part of sorts, or perhaps just a regular part, but it does look like it might be like a 2x2x2 part of sorts, or maybe like a 3x3x3, something like that. But the Founders always has really good resistance modifiers on their build, so I'm definitely curious to see what kind of parts come out with this next battle pass. Now moving on to Battle for Uranium, which left players confused and slightly irritated today with its return, as it features armored cars with power scores of 16,000 to 20,000 power score. So a lot of players are very irritated. They can't even play this game mode because they don't have builds with high enough power score. A lot of players are saying that this mode was designed to get players involved in clan battles or clan battle environment, to get people, newer players, a taste of Uranium. But with such a high power score, it makes that out of reach for most players, and I will say I agree with all of that. It does suck indeed, but I've got my own thoughts on why I think it is also good that they added this into the rotation, so I'll talk about that. But let's look at the rewards. Pretty much the same as it has been for all Battle for Uranium. 5, 10, and 10 uranium from getting to bronze, silver, and gold league. So you will get uranium as you move up the ranks. Now, when the stage ends, the players in Legend League will receive additional rewards according to their placement. So you have to get to Legend League, and then the top 500 players in Legend League will get 10 ore, 30, 50, 80, 100, 150, 200, all the way up to 250 uranium for the first place prize, which is an insane amount of uranium. Now, on top of that, you also have special challenges where when you win a battle for uranium, you will receive uranium for a win after 1700 points, and it goes up all the way to 2000 rating points. You will earn 5 uranium for that win. I will say, if you have premium or the scanner pack in the game, you do get the double uranium or bonus uranium, 50% more uranium I should say, for winning. So if you do get 1 uranium ore for winning in this challenge, you will get 2 uranium ore if you have CROSSOUT's monthly premium. For 5, I believe you will get 8 uranium for winning this last battle if you have a premium. So moving on to why I think this is actually kind of good that they put this power score in rotation. And of course, why it's bad. I mean, we know why it's bad. Newer players can't play. The rich get richer in CROSSOUT. Obviously, established players that have been playing forever have an advantage, or players that are paying money have an advantage. But here's the thing: for weeks, months, even players that have relics or have endgame stuff kind of been complaining that the power score has been so low for Battle for Uranium that they can't use the items that they spent years grinding for. They can't use their relics or all their fused like parts and things like that, their legendary cabins. And I 100% agree with that. As someone who's been playing a long time, it kind of does suck being forced to kind of play a lower power score you don't really want to play, just because you want to play a competitive mode that doesn't have bots where you can also earn uranium. So this is a great mode to play if you just want to play with your friends and still earn uranium. As you know, Clan Wars is limited, or Clan Battles is limited to being able to play only with your clanmates at specific times. So with Battle for Uranium, you can play with all of your friends with this new mode without limitations of being in the same clan as them, which I think is great. Shout out to Wild Gunner, you absolutely killed it in this match with me. GG's, man. And the last thing that I think is just kind of good about this Battle for Uranium session is the queue times for high power score have actually been terrible. As someone who mainly enjoys high power score games in CROSSOUT, whether I'm playing clan battles or not playing clan battles, it's been really turning me off lately on PC and console. Just having to sit in queue for a couple minutes at a time to play a couple minute battle. You're spending half of your time playing the game waiting in queue if you're playing for actually playing the game, and that's been really frustrating. So it's great to have a game mode where I can just play high power score. The queue times are not insanely long. I'm enjoying my end game builds. I have teammates that are trying a little harder than they might in regular PvP. You know, there's no bots. It's just all around a good time. So I see the benefit, but also I see the frustration of it's just designed to mix things up for everybody. Eventually they're going to have robotic legs and rotors in this mode, so don't be surprised if in 2 weeks you wake up and you see Battle for Uranium but it's robotic legs and rotors. I gotta say, I'm actually pretty excited to see what kind of competitive leg and helicopter builds players come out with. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you playing this mode? Do you think it's going to be overly sweaty? Or are you feeling a little bit left out? And if you are taking a little bit of a break, or you're interested in trying out another vehicle combat game, over the weekend I checked out a game called Fumes. Now, it is a indie developed game. It's made by 4 players. It's an early access, free on Steam. Now, it's basically like an open world vehicle combat game where you can upgrade your build. You're completing objectives to unlock various boss fights. The boss fights will give you parts that you can put on your build. You can customize your build, adding weapons. You can essentially fuse weapons, combine weapons together to increase their stats. At the whole time, it reminds me of Death Stranding because you're delivering packages, you're picking up packages, collecting packages from beating raiders on the map and beating bosses. You're delivering these package to take over these anomalies as part of the story. So anyway, it just gave me these Death Stranding vibes. It has Twisted Metal and CROSSOUT vibes on it. It's available for free on Steam if you do want to give the demo a try. But the game's called Fumes. We played it over the weekend on our stream, so check that game out also and let me know what you think. If you'd like to see more games on this channel, let me know in the comments below what kind of games you would like to see or what kind of genres I should cover outside of CROSSOUT. I appreciate everyone in the community. Get in our Discord if you want to join the conversation. I will be live this Wednesday, so catch me live on twitch.tv/shockradio, and I will see you in the next video.
Shock Radio.